Finally, let's look at our switch statement as another way of determining a code branch to execute based on a value being passed in or a value being compared. So a switch statement starts off with the keyword switch and accepts a local variable to be used for the comparison. Now in this case, we've simply declared another integer variable called value and assigned it the value 0. And in the switch statement, we enclose everything with curly braces. We use something called a case statement. Now it's important to note that you use the keyword case followed by the value you want to compare against this value, and you end it with a full colon. Place your line of code that you want to execute if this evaluates to true, and then when it's complete, we evaluate a break. If we remove this break statement, C# will complain because it won't know which line of code it is it really wants to execute based on a certain case. So this break statement must be in place to provide the separation between each one of your case statements. So this should execute exactly the same as this if-else-if statement did up here. Value is equal to 0, control F5, and it tells us value is equal to 0. Let's pop a breakpoint on here real quick just so we can watch a little bit of the execution of the code as we step through here. And let's put a value of 1 in. I'll start with debugging this time because we want that breakpoint to get hit. It stops at switch and it's going to compare the value. So it has value being passed in as 1. And as we step into the code, you'll notice that it immediately skipped over case 0 because this evaluated defaults. Remember, the computers are able to think much quicker than we are, so that code executed really fast. It did that comparison, said, nope, that's false, but it immediately dropped in and it's going to execute this line of code because case 1 does equal value. So this is the one that was true, and then if we were to continue the execution of the code, the screen would print out the value is 1. So that's just kind of a quick rundown of some of the different program control statements or program flow statements that we have available within C#. We've taken a look at the ability to perform repetition through the use of looping structures, where we did the for loop, the for each loop, the while loop, and the do while loop. And then we've also taken a look at the decision structures, which allow us to branch our code based on the value or the result of a comparison of values within our decision structures. These are great building blocks and stepping stones for getting started and writing your code in C# and allowing you to control the flow of code depending on the conditions within your application.